Hi, students. So let's start with the next lesson. Uh, okay, first let me share the screen. Okay, I think now you can see the screen and yeah, as you can see, the lesson today is on conversations and throughout the last two lessons also we were talking about conversations, part one, part two, right? So today we are to start with conversations, part three. So if you just look at this picture here in the slide, what can you see? So you have a noise complaint. So just have a look. So what do you think the lesson will be about? Conversations, yes, but of course it might have some relevance to complaints, right? How to make a complaint or how to react to a complaint. We'll see what the learning outcomes are. Okay. So these are the intended learning outcomes. So the things that you will be able to do at the end of this lesson. Okay. Right. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to give directions and assistance at required context. Right. Give directions. Give directions. Have you ever given directions to anyone, or maybe have anyone asked you for any direction? It might be in Sinhala, it might be in Tamil, it might be in English, no matter. I hope so, right? And when giving assistance as well, assistance means what? Assistance is another word for help, okay? So offering an assistance or maybe requesting for assistance, උදව්වක් ඉල්ලනකොට හරි උදව්වක් දෙනකොට හරි අපිට use කරන්න පුළුවන් terminologies, එහෙම නැත්නම් expressions මොනවාද කියන එක we will be discussing in this lesson, right? So at the end, you will be able to give directions and assistance at required context. So when someone is asking, okay, right. So the second point is you will be able to express and respond to requests, right, and complaints effectively. Now there are two things if you can see. Okay, the second bullet includes 2 points. What are they? That's about request and complaint. Request, again, how to express a request or how to ask for a request and how to respond to a request that is someone has done. Okay, and the same way, complaint, how to express a complaint, how to complain something. Okay, and at the same time, if someone is complaining something, how you are going to respond to him or her. You see, so both ways we are going to discuss expressing and responding to requests and complaints. Okay, so these are the intended learning outcomes. So yeah, we'll move on to the lesson. Now, in this slide, you can see for conversation, track conversation 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is a small activity. Identify the phrases of asking and giving information. Asking and giving information. Right? Asking is something else and giving is something else. Asking refers to when you ask for a help, when you ask from someone. Okay. And then giving information is when someone else is asking you to give information. Okay. That you should, with that you have to be clear. Okay. Here, if you just look at this conversation one. Okay. Who are the people here? It's a dialogue in between Jane and Mike. Okay. So first read the first one, conversation one, and try to identify what are the phrases that are used. First you do and then we'll all do. Okay. So let's start with the first one, okay? Now, the Jane is asking, excuse me, can you tell me the way to the what? Museum. So here, what is it? Excuse me, can you tell me the way to the museum, right? So this is a one way of asking for information or asking for direction. ඔයා යන්න ඕන දිශාව යන්න ඕන තැන ගැන ඔයා අහද්දි අහන්න පුළුවන් එක විදිහක් තමයි ළමයි මේම. Right? Excuse me, can you tell me the way to the museum or can you tell me the way to the coffee shop? Right? Like that. And then Mike is responding, it's this way, this way. Right? Go straight ahead. Go straight ahead කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? What do we mean by straight ahead? කෙලින්ම යන්න. ඉදිරියට කෙලින්ම යන්න. ඉදිරි දෙසට කෙලින්ම යන්න. Right? Go straight ahead at the traffic light. Okay, and then what? Turn right, go along the street. Turn right and go along the street. Walk past the park. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Walk past the park. Park එක පහු කරගෙන ඇවිදගෙන යන්න. Right? And keep going straight. කෙලින්ම යන්න. Right? Until you see the sign for the museum or of the museum. Okay? or museum එකේ symbol එක නැත්නම් sign එක දකින්නකම් කෙලින්ම ඇවිදගෙන යන්න. That is the direction that Mike has given. Okay? And then Jane is saying, great. Thanks for your help. Great. Thanks for your help. And then Mike is ending up the conversation saying that you are welcome. Okay, you see. So what is the main thing that you have to take from this conversation? It's about how to ask for information and how to get information. Okay. Yeah. When asking, you can remember that you can ask, excuse me, can you tell me the way to the museum? Right? Okay. Let's look at the second one. First, you read it for yourselves and then we will discuss. Okay. Right. We'll discuss. Now, conversation 2. That's in between Kate and Mary. Right? Now, what is Kate asking? How is she asking for the information? Excuse me, how do I get to the post office? How do I get to the post office? Now, here one way was, excuse me, can me tell me the way to the museum? And here, how do I get to? And then you say the place you want to go, right? And then Mary is saying, sorry, I'm not from around here. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Sorry, මම මේ කිට්ටුව කෙනෙක් නන් නෙමෙයි. මේ අවට කෙනෙක් නන් නෙමෙයි, right? Sorry, I'm not from around here. And then Kate is saying again, asking, do you know where the closest bank is? Right? So, students, this is another way of asking for direction or information, right? Do you know where the closest bank is? Do you know where the school is? Do you know where the CDC center is? Right? So, likewise. So, this is another way. So, I would just number it as number 3. Okay? And then Mary is saying, if you cross the street, you will find a bank there. If you cross the street, right? ඔයා පාර හරහා පායනකොට if you cross පැන්නොත් ඔයාට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් bank එක. Okay, Kate is saying thank you and then Mary is saying don't mention it. What do you mean by don't mention it? Don't mention it. Thank you කිව්වම මොකද කියන්නේ? අයියෝ ඒක සුළු දෙයක් කියලා එහෙම කියනවා නේද? So it's something like that. Okay, don't mention it. Right. So that was about conversation number 2. Okay, we'll move on to conversation number 3. Here. That's in between Emily and Bill. Okay. Now Emily is asking, excuse me, I'm afraid I can't find a petrol station. Do you know where one is? What is she saying? Now students, this is another way of asking for information or a location. Okay. So that's about asking for direction. Excuse me, I'm afraid I can't find a petrol station. Do you know where one is? What do you ask? So you see, I'll number it as number 4. Another way of asking for direction. And then Bill is replying, there is one here, one near here. Right? And then Emily, how do I get there? Or you just can ask, how do I get to a petrol station? How do I get to the bank? Right? So there are lots of other ways you can ask for direction. Okay, and then Bill is saying at the bus stop, take the first right and go straight on. මුලින්ම තියෙන පැත්තෙන් තියෙන තැනින් දකුණු පැත්තට හැරෙන and then go straight on. කෙලින්ම යන්න. It's opposite to the shopping mall. Shopping mall එකට විරුද්ධ දිශාවෙන් තමයි එක තියෙන්නේ. Right? So, and then Emily is replying, thank you so much. So you see how nicely the conversations are going? Right? You ask for something and then the person replies. If the person doesn't know that, he nicely say that he doesn't know it. Right? You see how it goes on, right? And then at the end, they say thank you to each other, right? For the help that they have done to each other. Okay, so you see how a conversation flows, right? And then moving on to the fourth one, number 4, conversation number 4, you see Rose and Jack. Interesting. Okay. So Rose is asking, excuse me, is there a hospital near here? You see? Excuse me, is there a hospital near here? This is another way of asking for direction. Okay, I would name this as 5. Yes, there is one near here. So, how far is it to the hospital? It's not far, maybe about 200 yards. Could you please guide me? It's that way. Go straight ahead, take right at the junction. Go straight ahead. I told you this expression, right? Go straight ahead means what? And then take a right at the junction. Junction, handiyen, dakunata හැරෙන්න. Take the right or take a ride at the junction. This straight road will lead you to the hospital. Straight road. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද? ඒ කෙලින් තියෙන පාර ඔයාව hospital එකට lead කරාවි. Right? Okay. So now using all these for conversations, you have identified some expressions that you can ask for and give information. Basically, information in the sense direction. Okay. Right. I hope you don't have any questions. And of course, now I have numbered them as 1 to 5, but there are a lot of other ways of asking for information and also to give information. Directions, especially. Okay. Okay. So we'll move on. Now here, it's a small task. You can see there's an incomplete dialogue I have given. So how would you respond to the below situation? Just take few minutes and we'll discuss the answer. Okay, I'll show you what my answer is. First, do it for yourselves. Try practicing this. How would you respond to the below situation? Okay, so right, we'll see what can be the answer, right? There are different options, so it could be my answer would be this, right? Man is saying, excuse me, can you tell me the way to the bank? You maybe can say, yes, sure. Turn left at the end of the street. Okay, and then the man can again ask, maybe at the traffic lights. You, yes, then go as far as the roundabout, right? And then again, man is asking, and at the roundabout, you turn right at the roundabout into B road. So you can write whatever you want, right? So since we are not in a classroom, like I can't share your answers with the others. Okay, that's the only thing. But you better try practice writing all these dialogue. And then man is asking, okay, right at the roundabout, go down D road. The bank is on the left. Man is saying thank you, and then you can say goodbye. So you can wrap up this conversation as you want. Okay. So there are a lot of other ways of giving information or giving direction. So you can use anything you want, but just only thing is you have to match to the situation given here. Okay. Right. So we'll move on. Now, this is about asking for help. If you can remember in our ILOs, intended learning outcomes, I explained that you will be able to learn about how to ask for request, right? Or ask for help. Now here, asking for help can be daunting for some people. Daunting means, what do you mean by daunting? Maybe you don't like to, right? But because it's almost certain that there will come a time you need assistance from someone, right? So you should know how to request it. Imagine there might be situations that you have to ask help from someone. We can't predict that. අපිට හිතාගන්න අපි හිතන්නේ නැති වෙලාවට we might need to get help from the others, right? So it might be a formal situation, it might be an informal situation, right? Whatever it is, you have to know how to request that. Okay, so here you can see two sets of expressions. Okay, this is the first one and this is the second set. Just read this and tell me which is informal and which is formal. Okay, we'll give you 2 minutes time, not 2 minutes, just few minutes. Go through the list and tell me which is what. Okay, so let's discuss. Now you can see the first set. Can you give me a hand with this? Could you help me for a second? Can I ask for a favor? I wonder if you could help me with this. I could do with some help, please. I can't manage. Can you help? Give me a hand with this, will you? Right? Lend me a hand with this, will you? So, what is this? What do you mean by them? This is all about asking for help, right? But when you are asking for help, you have to identify the situation as well. Okay. So this is more about asking help from a friend, a closer one to you. Okay. Right. And then if you just go through all these situations, you say, if you have a moment, I would appreciate your help. This is more formal, right? If you have a moment, I would appreciate your help. If you don't mind, I could use your help. What does that mean? If you don't mind, I could use your help. Would you mind helping me? Right? Would you mind helping me? And another way is, if not, if it's not too much trouble, would you mind lending me a hand? This is another nicer way of asking for request or asking for help. Okay? Can I trouble you for? And then you say for what? Okay, can I trouble you for finding an apartment near here, for example? Or you can say, if you are available, I would be grateful for your assistance, right? Would you kindly do me a favor and, okay? So you can continue, you can add what you want to be done. Okay, may I seek your guidance with, and then you can ask the question. And then I really need some assistance. Would you mind helping me? Would you mind helping me? So you see the two different ways of asking for help in formal context and as well as in informal context, right? So here, as I told you, this I would say this goes with informal situations, right? Informal context, and this is much formal. Okay, so yeah, I think you are taking down notes of all the things that we are discussing, right? So let's move on. Okay, now this is about phrases of making complaints in English. Phrases for making complaints in English. Complaints, you know, right? When something is not in the way you wanted, or if something is troubling you, you make complaints, right? Complaints are always negative stuff. If I say a complaint, complaint can come to it is something negative, right? So you're complaining on something. So when you are making a complaint, it is really important to start off politely. So complaints also can be done in different ways. Okay, you can make it really bad, or you can make it in a polite way, informal way and formal way. So here I'm going to talk about the formal ways of complaining something. Okay, in English language. As we've said many times, you will probably get a better response from somebody if you are a little bit more polite. So that's what I told you. When you're complaining something, you are hoping for a response from the other side, right? Or complain එකක් කරද්දි ළමයි ඔයා එහා පැත්ත කෙනාගෙන් ඊට ඔයාකට දෙයක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඔයාගේ කම්ප්ලේන් එකට එයාගෙන් පිළිතුරක් හරි එයාගේ රෙස්පොන්ස් එකක් ඔයා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. In that case, if you will be polite, that your response will be also something positive. So you understand what I mean, right? So in this case, it's really important to know how to make a complaint in an official or in a formal way, not in an official way, in a formal way, right? So we try to use more indirect language than direct language. So instead of saying, so without saying what's there, what was that, right? We would say, sorry, but could you help me with that, right? So this is one way of asking or maybe doing a complaint. So not to mention it that it was not in the correct order, you can ask, sorry, but could you help me with that? You understand it? Then the person on the other side know that, okay, something has happened, something is not in the order. Okay, and here in the box you can see a set of expressions. I'm sorry to say this, but I would like to make a complaint about. Okay, I'm sorry to say this, but the food was not good. Okay, or you can say, I would make, I would like to make a complaint about, and then you say what it is. Or you can say, I'm afraid I would like to complain to you. Excuse me, but I'm really not happy with the food I ordered. Excuse me, but there seems to be a problem in what? In the network connection you have provided in the hotel room or something. Okay. There appears to be something wrong with what else? What can you say? You can add whatever it is. Okay. You can relate to a situation and then you can complete the sentence. I was really upset when what? When finding the room dirty, right? You expected something better, but the output was, if the output was something bad or worse than you expected, then you are going to make a complaint, right? So I was really upset when seeing this. Okay, or you can say I was expecting something, but I got this. So that is also kind of making a complaint. I think you understand the the phrases that we have discussed so far. So yeah, now these are more examples, and before moving on to them, I would like to give you a minute to practice few sentences using these. Uh, I'm sorry about the background noises. So please complete, please write full sentences for the expressions given here. Okay, I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes time. Okay. Okay, so we'll see what can be some possible sentences. I hope you have done the task. Okay, using all these expressions, I asked you to complete into a sentence. Okay, right. So here, some more examples you can see to add into your list. It might be, I'm sorry to say this, but the soup is cold. I really can't eat it or drink it. Okay, people sometimes drink soup, they sometimes eat soup. Okay, I really can't eat it. Could you take it to the kitchen, perhaps reheat it? Okay, you are asking, you are complaining in at the same time you are asking for a help, right? So I would like to make a complaint about this article of clothing that I bought in your store last week. I would like to make a complaint about the clothes that I bought here last week. Here's my receipt, right? And excuse me, but I would like to make a complaint. I'm really not happy with this delay, right? Excuse me, but I'm really not happy with your response. I bought this yesterday. මම මේක ගත්තේ ඊයේ. ඔයාලට ප්‍රතිචාර දක්වන විදිහට මම කැමති නැහැ. Right? Excuse me, but there's a problem with the elevator. I've been waiting here for 10 minutes. Right? I've been waiting here for 10 minutes. There's a problem here with the elevator. So you see how you can do complaints without making it serious to the other side, to the other person. Okay, so we'll move on, and that was about making complaints. And this is another way of responding to complaints, right? Making responses. Now we learned about how to do a complaint. Complaint එකක් කරන විදිය අපි බැලුවා. And then now let's move on to how to respond to complaints, right? Responses to complaints. Here in the chart, you can see positive and negative responses. Okay, so here, as positive responses, what can you say? I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that there's a problem, right? Please accept my sincere apology. Okay, I see what I can do immediately. I'll do everything that I can do, sort it out, to sort it out. කරන්න පුළුවන් හැමදේම මම බලන්නම්, right? I'll sort it out immediately. මම දැම්මම මේක විසඳන්නම්. So you see how a person can react to the complaints that another person has done in a positive way. Okay. And at the same time, there can be negative responses as well. So what are they? I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. සමාවෙන්න අපිට ඒකට කරන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක් නැහැ. Right? Imagine if someone is saying, excuse me, the lift is not working and I've been waiting here for 10 to 15 minutes. Right? And the management, one person from the management comes and say, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. What happens? That's really negative, right? And imagine if someone comes and say, oh, so I see, I'll sort it out immediately. I'll try to find a solution for this. Okay, you see the difference. Okay, being positive and negative on responding to complaints. Okay, and another way is it's out of our hands or control. It's out of our control. Imagine the same thing, same scenario, saying about the lift. Excuse me, the lift here is not working. I have been waiting here for 10 minutes. Oh, it's out of our control. It's out of our hands means we can't control that. We can't take the responsibility of it, right? It's out of our hands. It's out of our control, which means they can't do anything, right? So it's a negative way of responding. And then here the third one, that's really beyond out of my control. It's kind of the same thing what we have discussed here as the second one. Okay, I'm afraid there's nothing I can do at the moment. මේ වෙලාවේ නම් ඒකට කරන්න පුළුවන් කිසි දෙයක් නැහැ. Right? So how can you make these negative expressions into positive ones? Here, you can refer to them. Okay, right. So this was about how to do a complaint and how to respond to complaints in both negative and positive way. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now this is a small task. Write a dialogue of complaint regarding the food you received at the restaurant. Okay, you have to use the expressions that we have done learned here. Okay, how to make phrases for making complaints, and then again how to respond to it. Okay, you have to write a dialogue, meaning you have to write A or B, or you can take two people and you have to write the dialogue. Okay, so write a dialogue of complaint regarding the food you received at the restaurant. And please try doing this. I'll give you a few minutes time and then we'll discuss the answers. Take a screenshot of this and do. I'm going to minimize the slide. Okay, so make sure that you complete this task and let's move on. Okay, the task was about writing a dialogue complaining regarding the food you received at the restaurant. Okay, we'll just watch a small video about this and just check how you have written your own dialogue. Okay, let me quickly share the screen. I think you can see the screen, but I'm not sure whether it's clear. Let me share the sound also. Okay, we'll see. Okay, let's watch this. Okay, I'll make it right.
Teaching you English through 2-minute lessons.
In this lesson, we will talk about phrases that you can use when you need to complain at a restaurant.
Are you ready to order, sir?
I wanted to try something new today, but I don't see anything interesting on the menu.
What kind of food are you looking for?
Nothing specific actually. I've tried all the dishes that are listed here, and I was looking to explore new ones.
Let me talk to the chef. I'm sure he can suggest something.
No, that's okay. Let me just suggest that you add some more food variety to your menu. I haven't seen any changes in it for a while now.
You've been one of our more regular customers. I'll definitely take your suggestion to the manager.
That's good. For now, you can bring me the red sauce pasta and potato wedges.
Excuse me, are you out of vegetables today?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand.
I ordered a creamy vegetable soup, and there aren't many vegetables in it. It's mainly just broth.
I really apologize for that. Allow me to replace it with a better one.
No, that's alright now. I'll just fill up on the main course.
I assure you it won't happen again. As a token of our apologies, we won't charge you for the soup.
That's good. I hope I won't be disappointed with the food quality.
You will not, sir.
Excuse me, would you mind telling me who's the cook?
What's wrong, sir? Is there anything I can help you with?
Well, as you can see, I ordered a chicken parmigiana, and the chicken is not well cooked.
I really apologize for this mistake. Allow me to get you a better dish.
That's right, but you people have been running this restaurant for so long. Usually such things do not happen here.
It's a random mistake. I apologize on behalf of my chef.
I would appreciate it if you can replace it with a well-cooked dish.
Sure. Thank you for your patience.
Excuse me, Captain.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Well, it's been 20 minutes since I placed my order. We haven't received any appetizers or even any drinks yet.
Kindly give me a couple minutes. I'll check the status of your order.
Please do so. I'm in a hurry and I don't have much time today.
I'll bring your drinks now, and your order will be on your table within the next 5 minutes.
Thanks a lot.
I wanted to try something new today, but I don't see anything interesting on the menu. Let me just suggest that you add some more food variety to your menu.
I ordered a creamy vegetable soup, and there aren't many vegetables in it.
Excuse me, would you mind telling me who's the cook? Well, as you can see, I ordered a chicken parmigiana, and the chicken is not well cooked. I would appreciate it if you can replace it with a well-cooked dish.
Well, it's been 20 minutes since I placed my order. We haven't received any appetizers or even any drinks yet.
Okay, students, I think it was clear and it was a nice video about how to complain, how to do complaints at a restaurant. And complaining is something not good, but of course, if there is something to be complained, then you have to, right? In that case, make sure that you do it in a polite way, not to hurt anyone. Okay, so, right. So there were some expressions, as you could see. First, let me stop sharing. Okay, so here. Now, can you remember the expressions that you had to repeat? There were few expressions that was all about making complaints, right? Can you remember? I wanted to try something new today, but I don't see anything interesting on the menu, right? So that is a kind of complaint, right? Okay. Complaints at the restaurant, right? So the first one was, I wanted to try something new today, but I don't see anything interesting on the menu. මම ආවේ අද මොන හරි අලුත් දෙයක් try කරන්න. හැබැයි මට menu එකේ කිසි අලුත් දෙයක් පේන්නේ නැහැ. Interesting දෙයක් පේන්නේ නැහැ. Right? And the second one was, let me just suggest that you add some more food variety to your menu. So that is also kind of making a complaint, but at the same time suggesting something. Okay, ඒ වගේ මේ වෙලාව මෙයා යෝජනා කරනවා දෙයක්. Right? So let me just suggest that you add some more food variety to your menu. Okay. I ordered a creamy vegetable soup and there aren't many vegetables in it. I ordered a creamy vegetable soup and there aren't many vegetables in it. So that is also one way, that is also another complaint that was done in the video, right? What was the other one? I'm not typing here because it takes time and it was there in the video as well. So I'm just repeating them. Okay. So what was the other thing? Excuse me. Would you mind telling me who's the cook? Would you mind telling me who's the cook? ඔයාලගේ cook කවුද කියලා මට පොඩ්ඩක් දැනගන්න පුළුවන්ද? Right? It sounds bit strict, but still such complaints people also do, right? Maybe it's it's a kind of complaint, but at the same time that is to ask for some information, maybe about how have you done this dish, or maybe something like that. Okay. And there was another one, if you can remember. Well, as you can see, I ordered a chicken parmigiana and the chicken is not well cooked. මම order කරේ මෙහෙම එකක්, but ඒක හරියට cook වෙලා නැහැ. Okay, I would appreciate if you can replace it with a well-cooked dish. I would appreciate. What do you say here? I would appreciate if you can replace it with a well-cooked dish. You see how people can make complaints without making it too serious on the other side? Well, it's been 20 minutes since I placed my order. So that happens very often, right? When you go to a restaurant and you order something and you have to wait for hours and hours. Okay, in that case, what can you say? What complaints can you make? Well, it's been 20 minutes since I placed my order. මගේ order එක place කරලා විනාඩි 20ක් විතර වෙනවා. Right? Still there's nothing. Okay, we haven't received any appetizers or even any drinks yet. We haven't received any appetizers or even any drinks yet. තාම බොන්නවත් appetizers වත් කිසිම දෙයක් තාම හම්බුනේ නැහැ. So these are some common complaints that we hear when we are at a restaurant, right? So, we have discussed them based on the video we have watched. Right? Okay. So, let me move on to a small activity. And for that, I have to share the screen, and I don't know whether the slide will be clear enough. Let's see, okay? Okay. So, no, 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 no. Give me 1 minute, students, okay? I have to. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Okay, I think now you can see the screen. So here you can see, read the dialogue more than once to understand and write the correct letter A to H. Here you can see in this column, there you can see sentences, expressions from A, B, C, D, likewise up to H. Right, and here you can see the dialogue. And the first one is done for you. Just read James, and the conversation is in between James and Tom. Okay, James is saying, James, hey Tom, are you doing anything next weekend? Okay, first we'll go through. Okay, so here, do you like rock music? That's the option A. B, not much. Why? And B is already taken for the first one. C, sure, but I need to ask my parents for money to pay for the tickets. How will we get them? If we go on Sunday, we won't miss football on Sunday. If we go on Saturday, we won't miss football on Sunday. And then the other one is, and tell him my dad can drive us there. Cool, you are really lucky. That's brilliant. So, which day do you want to go? So, these are the responses, and we'll see what the answers can be here. Okay. Right. The first one is James is asking, well, my brother gave me some tickets for a rock concert. So, what do you think? Okay, first we'll read all these sentences, and then we'll identify what is the answer, the correct one. Okay, James is saying, well, okay, you also have to do it by your own, and I'll be doing myself. Well, my brother gave me some tickets for a rock concert. Do you want to come too? The band's called Stone Dragons. They are playing in Green Park next Saturday and Sunday. Hmm. Okay. Do you want to come too? The band's called Stone, playing in Greenland. Okay, Sunday. What can be the answer here? Don't worry about that. My brother won them in a competition. It doesn't matter. That's true, right? I'll tell my brother no, you're coming. Right, okay. Now tell me, what can be the answers here? Well, my brother gave me some tickets for a rock concert. What do you think the answer for this one? Shall we put it as number A? When James is saying, then Tom is asking, do you like rock music? And then James is asking, do you want to come to the band called Stone Dragons? They are playing in Green Park next Saturday and Sunday. So what is Tom saying? Sure, but I need to ask my parents for money to pay for the ticket. That is C. Don't worry about that. My brother now. This is gone. This is gone. Don't worry about that. My brother won them in a competition. So, hmm. Okay, so I think the answer is G here. I'm just assuming, okay, this is just first time doing. Okay, cool, you are really lucky. And then James is saying it doesn't matter really. Oh, what do you think? And then Tom is saying if we go on Saturday, we won't miss the football on Sunday. ඔයා මොකක්ද හිතන්නේ කියලා අහනවා. ඊට පස්සේ එයා කියනවා if we go on Saturday, so I would place here E, right? We won't miss football on Sunday. That's true. ඒක හරි. Right. I'll let my brother know you are coming. Okay. So that's true. Oops, I think I have missed out something. Give me a few minutes. Okay, hard drawing. I think I have missed out the last part. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 blank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, that was the thing. I was trying to find out fitting all these things into this one. So that doesn't work. Okay. So that was about the dialogue here. So you just try doing this. You just try practicing this. Since we are running out of time, I'm going to wind up the session for today. And yeah, thank you very much for being here. Yes, I'm going to stop share this. And all the links and everything are given students, okay, in the PowerPoint presentation. So you better try doing self quizzes and all these things to practice yourselves how to do a conversation in a formal and informal context, right? When doing a request, when asking for assistance from someone, and then when doing a complaint, and how to, like when dealing with people outside, we always get complaints, and also you have to respond to them, right? In that case, you really need to know how to do them in a proper way, in a positive way or in a negative way if really wanted. Okay, so make sure that you practice all these things, and yeah, have a nice day. Thank you very much.